If you've ever played airsoft with a gas blowback rifle, thinking you'd be the coolest on the field, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, guys, because gas blowback rifles are the coolest things in the airsoft community. But they are also the most annoying and probably the most difficult to use due to their limitations. And playing them in CQB is even harder. And playing them in CQB with iron sights is even harder. And playing them in CQB on a map you haven't been to in 3 years and don't know the layout at all, by yourself with no friends or squad with randoms, is even harder. Today, I'd like to go over my recent gameplay on some of the good things that in the gameplay and some lessons we can take from it. So before we get started on this gameplay, the field is Asobiba Ikebukuro. I'll throw up the map design here. As you can see, there are a lot of different angles and a lot of different ways you can play. There's basically a street level, and then there's a car side, and then there's middle. So by looking at this map here, it's very overwhelming. So what we're gonna end up doing is learning how to play this kind of map, playing with the limitations of a gas blowback rifles. Mind you, this is the very first time I've ever played this field with this gun, ever. So let's get right into it. All right. So what I'm gonna end up doing, as you can see here, is I'm trying to play wide and reduce my angles, right? Keeping my gun up. You never know where the enemy could appear, but in this particular game mode, they can't go past a certain point. So it's just a matter of me of getting familiar with the map first and just kind of practicing my pieing and seeing how easy I can see through these irons and what kind of my space is. So I'm reducing my angles and playing on the far side of the map. It's a very easy Call of Duty technique to do this. See an enemy right there. And I was able to see that guy because I know you can't see it in the camera, but I'm looking around. I get into cover, double tap. That was actually the same guy. And we go for a reload after an engagement like that, right? So just being aware, you know, that's why you gotta keep your eyes open when you're playing CQB and pieing every corner as you can. And you can see here that I'm using my eyes rather than just kind of fully committing to a corner. I'm using my eyes to look around rather than peeking my whole head out like this. And you'll see a lot of kills that I get in this gameplay is when people are just popping their head out like that. So I kind of go low to reduce that angle with that window there. I see someone. I had my gun on safe, so I couldn't actually get him. So I'm just kind of keeping this power position and just kind of waiting because I'm not familiar with the map at all. Sometimes that's what you got to do, right? Keeping my gun up, seeing if that guy will eagle peek. Just keeping the gun up there. As you can see there, he tried to peek me and then he paid for it. The eagle is crazy. Guy comes in, do a quick reload, pop shot it, and get low. He actually didn't hit me, or maybe he was hitting that little wood frame, but apparently, according to the referee, I got hit in the plate. I honestly did not feel it. Plus he had a flashlight, so I'm not sure if he knew, but I had him dead to rights either way. But we respawn and I put my one counter and yeah, we're moving on to the next place. So now this is the street area. So it's the very, very close, tight CQB. Now this is where you really have to kind of shoulder your rifle really, really short and kind of just have it floating around on your shoulder like this and just holding it very, very tight. And you see that I was switching arms every time. In a space tight as this, you got to do that. Check this breach. It's clear. Go low. That guy got caught with his pants down. And I kind of advance forward, get that guy, but I didn't check that corner there. And that's just bound to happen because of this area. It just winds around and around and around like that. And that just comes with map knowledge and knowing where you can and can't go, right? So, which is kind of practicing my sight pictures you can see here. The gun's always up. Not like FPS, but it's always in a kind of a low ready position, so I can always throw it up quick, switch my arms really quick. The good thing about this rifle is I don't have to do a full switch. I can just switch it over with one arm. Pied that corner. That guy got hit. There was another guy you can't see. I also got him too, and he actually goes for the eagle chow. And then now that they had me dead to rights, there was no point. They had two of them looking at me, so I just kind of backed off. Remind you, I'm not familiar with the map at this point. I don't know where I'm going. And I'm trying to stay away from the middle where you're the most exposed. So maybe I can flank him here. So I'm switching my arm. Checking that breech with my eyes, checking the corners with my eyes. That's where I just was. So I'm gonna go left a little bit. There he was. I don't know how he didn't get me. I think he just missed, but I was ready for him. And that was a pure reaction shot. And some guy just tried to shoot my gun from the left, but he missed because I guess his height over bore wasn't on point. So I'm gonna try and engage him, see where he actually shot me from. Check there, there he is. Taking ricochets, which don't count. That was a very risky shot. I just went straight for the left hand instead of doing a full transition. It was just a quick transition. And now I'm waiting to see if he's gonna peek and whatever. So a lot of CQB is ego challenging. So he didn't actually go for the ego chow and he decided to retreat. But I decided to go low on that peek just in case he attempted to. Another thing I had to be aware of in that specific situation was the shadows. So here's round 2 now, and we're on the other side. So I'm gonna go to the street level, practicing my offhand. That red line is as far as they can go. There was a guy already there. I got scolded for going too fast. So I'm kind of doing a slow, very, very slow peek to see if he will move first. So again, it's a lot of ego challenging in Airsoft CQB. And there you go. So he let his guard down and he got hit. Go for the reload. And this is when it's just so tight, I can't switch. So you kind of, I would probably switch to a pistol next time because you just have an easier way to maneuver around instead of using the rifle. But I didn't have my sling on me, so I couldn't really switch to my pistol that easily. Did not check that breach on the right, I would have died. And he went back to the spot because he tried to revenge me, I guess. But I was there for him at a different angle. So now I'm kind of crossing the halfway point, and we're moving up. And we can kind of see there's a guy dying there. There's a guy there. Shot him in the foot to be kind. I am now smack in the enemy territory. So you're going to see me that I'm just kind of going to camp here for a little bit and hold this power position because their spawn is on the right side of me. So I can really hold them down. This is where they're all going to start lining up. And I'm just right in enemy territory right now. So I got to try and remain quiet, remain nimble, and just kind of be aware of my backside. Remember, I'm playing solo. If I had a teammate, I could have a guy watching my back, but I'm playing solo. Solo CQB is not easy. The last time we did an observation is I was with a pair, but this time this is solo CQB. Solo clearing, solo everything. I can't make too much of a commitment. I don't have advanced movement, don't grenades. He's dying, people are dying, so I know they're gonna respawn, so I can kind of hang around here a bit. Got this guy in the foot, and that guy got around me eventually, so, you know, they knew I was kind of, you probably saw me, you know, when I was there chilling, and he's like, I'll get this guy this time, right? So, yeah, it's just kind of being aware. You gotta understand people's behavior in CQB, especially if there's respawns. People are gonna come back, it's all ego. But again, soloing again. So here I am, just kind of trying to pair up with my teammates a little bit. We had no report this time. So we're just kind of playing back in the middle. I'm off-handing, trying to reduce my angles. I know my teammate's there. I should be canting, but I'm not because I'm prioritizing movement and stability and trying to get back to where I was. There's a guy right there, got him. And now I'm gonna go around. They just died. So I know that they're gonna reset, so I can probably try and take that spot again and hold them at their spawn. Once again, sometimes you can see there's a lot of angles that I'm just committing to without clearing every single one, because sometimes you just need speed. And that guy was waiting for me, and he had the angle on me because he was watching me straight, and I was in a weird contorted position, so I couldn't really do anything. So here we go again, back again at our spawn area, back in street, and there's a guy already waiting here, and he got me right in the left hand because I wasn't, you know, I wasn't switching to my left hand there. I was super exposed. Pistol probably would have been better. So now my teammates are telling me that there's people kind of on our left side now, so they're holding us here in our base. See, that guy is kind of crawling there. I'm gonna go for the offhand shoot, and I kind of see what's going on, what they're all looking at. And you can see there's a shadow right there. I see his shadow on the wall, and he comes up, and I spray him with the gas blowback trigger. And yeah, man. That's good, that's good. Lessons to be learned about gas blowbacks is one, You have your ammo limitations. 2, you have a superior trigger. So you're most likely, if your gun doesn't jam, you're gonna win most of the reactionary fights as long as you have your stance. 3, always have your gun up. And when you're thinking about playing solo CQB with no teammates and maybe one life game modes, 1 is to not take too many risks. 2 is to reduce your angles as much as you can by playing wide until you can get a feel for the map. 3 is to be able to have that awareness that you gotta watch your back, watch your front, watch your left, because you got nothing. You don't have a guy watching your back. So you gotta kind of be aware of what you're doing. If you're playing with a gas blowback, you're gonna be loud. So it's gonna give away your position. If it's a respawn mode, people are gonna tell their friends where you are. So you gotta know how to reposition. You gotta know, be like, okay, I just killed this guy here. It's either A, I'm gonna have a big ego and I'm just gonna like hold this power position, or B, I'm gonna try and rotate and be sneaky. And that really just depends on you, your ego, and your skill level, and your level of risk averseness. So there's a lot when it comes to CQB, and you can see that it's more, if you wanna perform well and get your money's worth, and actually get better at the game, it's a lot more tactical, if that makes any sense. It's not like we're life and death, but there's a lot more active thinking involved compared to outdoor, where you just kind of pulls up a spot and just spam BBs and mess around. But as you can see here, this is like a novice field, and playing alone and having zero communication with other people is really the hardest part. And you just got to rely on your fundamentals and your training, your skill, which is why it's important. Which is why for $1 a month, no, I'm just joking. We got a lot of training videos here on this channel if you guys want to really improve at Airsoft, improve at using a GBBR, and improve on getting better at CQB specifically. We got a lot of videos like that, like CQB techniques right here.